Thanks for joining me today on Jeremy Riggin Outdoors. So I wanted to do a DIY paint job, so in true Jeremy Riggin style, I went up to the store, bought a few cans of spray paint and a few things from the dollar store, and I'm going to kind of show you the steps that I used to get the results on this shotgun. So I'm just going to go over some of the supplies that you'll need if you're going to do a camo paint job on your gun or anything else that you really want to do it on. So I would highly recommend not going cheap on the paint. I ended up buying the Rust-Oleum camouflage paint line. It comes in like a couple lighter colors. You got your khaki and your khaki green, kind of a darker green, dark brown, and then a black. And these are all in a matte finish, which is what I prefer. So definitely pick those things up. You don't have to have all 5 of these. I have all 5 of them, but you could definitely do just 2 or 3 of those. But I think it comes in handy to use all 5 of those kind of in that paint scheme. But do whatever you want to do with that. And then the other thing that I ended up buying, and you can pick these up at the dollar store. This is a laundry bag. And then the other thing that I ended up buying is a shelf liner, that non-stick shelf liner. And I will probably show some clips. I did a couple test paint jobs on a leaf blower that I'd garbage picked, and I'll probably show some clips of that. Took that apart and just kind of painted some areas on that, so you can kind of see some curves and some other areas and how those 2 different paint jobs look different. I will say the one thing, I think I'm gonna end up painting the shotgun with this pattern, and the one thing that I found with this is because it's gripping, it's got that grip to it, it just sits really well on the surface that you're gonna put it on, and you can kind of form it to it, and it just kind of stayed there better than this laundry bag. So, but both of them still had cool effects. 2 different looks, although they're similar. The other thing you're going to need, obviously, is you're going to need some masking tape and then some cotton balls. Sticking the cotton balls into the barrel of the gun and then masking off whatever you don't want to paint. So I'm not going to bore you with the masking off, and we'll just get right to it. So we've got the gun all masked off, barrel taped up and everything like that. And one thing to point out, I think it's obvious, but clean this thing. It's cleaned all off. Use some brake cleaner, which is a great cleaner to get all that residue off, and it dries right away. A little compressed air helps dry. But definitely the whole thing's cleaned off. I did take off the rubber kick plate, or the butt plate. I did not want to get that all painted, so, but everything else is masked, and we're going to put our first coat of the tan, and I plan to put 2 coats of the initial base coat. Alright, so we've got our base layer down. Now it's time to start adding some other colors to highlight, kind of accent the rest of it before we do any of the snakeskin kind of coating on it. So we're going to go with, got the darker green. We're going to start with the darker green, maybe the lighter green, and then the brown. We'll do all those colors before we go with the black and tan snakeskin look. Now it's important, I don't want really defined streaks, so we want to stay a good ways away and get a good brush, just a good light spray on there. We don't want real defined lines or anything. So. Now there are going to be some areas where we definitely want to highlight some darker areas, and those are going to be some areas where we're actually going to do the snakeskin, but a tan on top of it. And then where there's the lighter areas, we're going to concentrate on doing the black snakeskin. Now we're just going to let this dry, and then we'll come back and do the snakeskin look. Alright, so for this next step, we're going to use this rubber shelf material, and what we're going to do is we're going to start off, we're going to be highlighting all of the light colored areas here. So we're going to be kind of hitting these light areas with the dark, and then some of these darker areas we're going to be hitting with the light paint on there. And I didn't want to just do like the exact same pattern, so I actually want to break it up. I want to do like different angles. I think it looks better that way. So that's why I decided we're not doing one long roll over the whole thing. We're just going to use like a small piece. Here we're just going to, we don't want to be real close. We want to be kind of backed away. And this is what I like about this rubber material is it kind of just takes the shape and stays really well. So And then we're going to hit some of these lighter areas, some of these darker areas with some of the light color. And I tell you what, that has just got a really cool look to it. So I hope you've gotten something out of this video. And if you have, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing for some more Jeremy Riggin style DIY projects.